Hi everybody, Lath from Wineberry Hill. Here in New England, we're having one of those falls that makes you feel like maybe winter isn't going to happen this year. It's so beautiful and so warm. But rest assured, it's coming, and when it does, it's going to kill your pepper plants. But here's the thing with pepper plants. They have a superpower. And if you do things right, you can take your favorite pepper plant, protect it from the winter, and in the spring you have a fully grown pepper plant that you could put back in the ground and be ahead of the game. Now, what I'm going to show you as to how I overwinter my peppers also applies to most tomato plants as well as herbs like sage, rosemary, and thyme. Here's how to do it. Okay, first things first, we're going to harvest any of the remaining peppers that are still hanging on. Obviously, we don't want those to go to waste. Once that's done, it's time for a major haircut. Prune the plant just above a bud. This keeps the plant manageable and it helps settle it into a winter rest. This is also a good time to check for pests. Using a little soapy water spray can work wonders if you see any lingering critters. I then take all of those leaves and fill the holes where the plants were with them. And then finally, I fill the beds with rabbit manure. And so the goal is to encourage the plant into winter dormancy, trimming off the leaves and most of the branches, as well as putting it in a pot with some good potting soil, maybe a little compost, and then putting it in a relatively cool, not cold, but relatively cool location with a little bit of light. And the plant will assume, okay, I need to just chill for a while. And it will stop putting energy into producing leaves and branches. And that's ideal. And so what I do is I put my pepper plants usually in the basement. Here in the basement, I have a couple windows that catch that low winter sun. And so throughout the day, the pepper plants get a little bit of sun. And because it's a basement in the winter, the temperature is around the mid-60s. Now, those are going to be both factors that help keep the plant healthy, but dormant. And the other thing is you have to be careful about watering your pepper plants. You don't want them to be wet by any stretch of the imagination, and you don't want them to be completely dried out, but you do want them to be almost dry. And so perhaps once a week you'll dribble just a tiny little bit of water in there, depending on how the soil is, to just keep the plant alive, but relaxed and sleeping. And there you have it. You take your pepper plants, you put them in a pot, you prune them, and then you keep them in a sort of cool environment with a little bit of sunlight and just a little bit of water, and your plants will go into dormancy, but be ready to go come spring. Now, don't worry, they will look pretty dire come spring, but as long as there's a little bit of flexibility in those branches, they'll be good to go. I'm curious, what plants can you encourage into dormancy where you live? What works for you? And as I'm always saying, you know, all that YouTube stuff really makes a difference. The commenting and subscribing, it makes it possible for me to have a channel. So thank you. And if you like this video, you might like these.